Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today I'm going to be catching you up on where we are with my Pan That palette from 2021. In 2021, the Pantastic Ladies, their theme for that Pan That palette was tiny pans. And I thought it was just the most darling, most adorable idea, so I absolutely jumped in. I decided that I would pan this teeny tiny palette right here. This is actually a 12 pan palette from Sleek. This is When the Sun Goes Down. It's small. It only has 2.4 grams across all 12 pans. So I thought, you know what? If I'm going to pan a palette, that's the one it's going to be. Well, it's March of 2022 and we are still doing updates. I decided to continue on with this project rather than attempt a new Pan That palette when I had not yet completed this one here. So I'm going to preface this by saying that February was not a good month for me. You probably have noticed that I haven't uploaded in a little while. It's just February was not a great month in the life of Ashley. So that is going to really dictate a lot of this update. So as always, let me go ahead and pop up a picture of where we were last month. And then let me show you where we are as of today. All right, now don't get excited. All right, so don't get excited. I have not panned this palette. So I was in a bit of a funk, a bit of a bad mood, and I had already been in the process of repressing a few other items, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna Franken it. I'm just gonna Franken it and see where we can go from there. So that's what I did. I don't know how I feel about what I have created. I really honestly wish that I had thought to take photographs of what the palette looked like before I started the Frankening process. It didn't look too much different. I had only used 3 of the shades once each, so, you know, but still I would have liked to maybe have filmed it, let you guys see what I did, but that didn't happen. So I will show you the 2 shadows that I created using the remaining 6 shades that were left in the palette. So I combined together the gold shade, which was number 7, the copper shade, which was number 12, and then half of the kind of silvery sparkly shade, which was the 3rd shade. And I created this right here. Now this shadow I actually really like a lot. In fact, it is, don't mind the insane bangs, it is what I am wearing on my lids today, and I really like it quite a bit. Let me give you a swatch. I think that it's really just very multi-dimensional and really flattering. You can really see the gold, you can really see the red, you can really see the silver. Like when you get up close with it, it is really multi-dimensional and I like it so much. The other shadow that I created, I don't love quite as much. So for the remaining shadows, so the rest of the 3rd shade, which was that silvery sparkly shade, number 6 and number 11, which were kind of taupey gray-y sort of shades, I mixed them as well as a few other things. So I had a little bit of this pigment right here. This is from Sample Beauty. This is in the shade Glam and Glow. This was just sitting here because I had just finished filming my Let's Get Loose update. So this has really purple, green, blue, multi-chromey sort of things in it, so I thought it would lend itself very well because the 6th shade was attempting to be a duochrome, so I thought, you know what, that'll lend itself well. And then the pan that I had decided I wanted to press everything into was from an Urban Decay shadow, the shade Lounge. There was just a little bit left in there from where it had shattered, and so I mixed that into Lounge. Is very similar in that it has kind of, you know, grungy, greeny, bluey sort of shifts to it. And what ended up coming out of it is this right here. I don't know if it's focusing properly. There we go, it's better. So it looks all right in the pan, but I'll be honest, it doesn't pick up very well. So this is what it looks like just on my finger. And then swatched, it looks like this. So, I mean, it's got some potential. It's just not quite what I was expecting. Where I'm kind of running into trouble though is if you have been following my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, then you know I'm working on a shade from my Too Faced Life's a Festival Peace, Love, and Unicorns. I'm working on the shade Artist Pass. And I think you know where this is going. Two shades are very similar, but Artist Pass is prettier. It's definitely much more vibrant and pulls much more nicely. And so I'm finding myself not wanting to reach for both, and if I have to choose between the two, I've been opting for the Too Faced one, because the problem that I've had with especially the attempt at duochrome in this sleek palette is that if you look at it just in a vacuum, it's nice, but when you compare it to other things, it's not as nice. Like, you can see that it's just kind of lackluster. I mean, even in comparison to this one right here, this is just very lackluster. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I really want to complete both of the Franken eyeshadows that I created because, again, I really want to pan this palette. It is what I'm really, really focusing on. So I may have to actually remove the Tarte shadow from that project because I'm not going to use the two in tandem. And it feels like such a waste to layer the Tarte one over the sleek one because I just feel like I'm just wasting it. I'm just using it to be using it as opposed to using it to create a look. I don't know if that makes sense, but I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm going to do, but we've gone from having 6 shadows to be working on down to having 2. So I don't know if that's a win or not. Also, I'm kind of regretting frankening them because having just, you know, some remnants in this teeny tiny thing with these teeny tiny pans, it felt more doable than both of these feel so big in comparison. And so I'm almost feeling like I'm starting over in a sense, which is a little bit demoralizing in a way. So I don't know. I have used both of these. I've used this one, which we're going to call combo number 1. I've used it 3 times, and combo number 2, which is this one right here, I have used once. So obviously you're not going to see pan or anything like that, not that you saw them originally, although I'll pop up a picture of what they looked like on the day that I actually created them because I did have the good thought to take a picture of what I had created even though I hadn't thought to actually film the whole process. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think it would be wonderful if by the next update I could have pan in both of them. I don't know that that is what's going to happen, but I feel like that would be a really nice stretch goal. Okay, let's move on to the other items that I'm working on in this project because I've got a plethora of teeny tiny little products because honestly I think they're so stinking adorable. The one that has been hanging out with us the longest and that no one is surprised is still here and looking exactly the same. This is from Bobbi Brown. This is their Crushed Liquid Lip in the shade Smoothie Move. I have used it 3 times since our last update and it still looks exactly the same. No point in talking about it. What I had actually pulled in, I think it was the last update, was this right here. So this is from Touch in Soul. This is their Advanced Real Moisture Liquid Foundation. It is in the shade 23 Natural Beige. I have used it 3 times and I'm just not reaching for it. It is, as I knew, it is a little bit too deep for me and I just haven't been loving working with it. So I'm actually gonna kick it out. Instead, I'm gonna pull in this teeny tiny little one right here. This is from NARS, obviously. This is their Soft Matte Complete Foundation in the shade Mont Blanc, and it is honestly a spot-on match for me. It is what I'm wearing today, and it looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. I've been kind of on the fence. I really have been wanting to try this for a while, so I don't know why it took me so long to actually open up the sample that I had. I think just because I get into these panning like zones where I feel like the only thing I can use is what I'm working on. So I finally gave myself permission to open this up, and I really have been enjoying it a lot. I've worn it 2 or 3 times now. But I've been wanting to try that for a really long time, and I want to try their new foundation because I would like to purchase one of them. I mean, this has been just really working well for my skin, so I don't know. I really like the way it looks. I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this out and put this in its place and hopefully get it used up, because that will get another foundation out of my collection, and it will kind of give me an idea as to whether or not this is something that I would want to purchase in a full size. Right now I am leaning towards really liking it, but NARS foundations are like $50. They're so expensive. And if I'm going to buy one, it needs to be one that I'm head over heels in love with and will want to use every little last drop of. So that's kind of why I'm on the fence, even though it looks so freaking nice. So that is my update. You'll notice that I did not do a build your own palette for the month of March. I'm finding that I really enjoy the process of doing the build your own palette. However, I'm not actually using it. I have a lot of eyeshadows that I'm working on, and it's only the beginning of March. So I decided to go ahead and take a break on that until I felt like I was making some progress in some other projects, and just stop overloading myself with things that I want to do versus things that I'm able to do, if that makes sense. So that's where we are. That's where we are. How are your projects going so far, especially now that we're the first couple of months into the year? How are you feeling about it? Did you, like me, think that you were going to take on less and find yourself having taken on just as much as always? Or are you feeling really good about where your projects are? I would love to know. As always, everything that I'm wearing is going to be linked in the description box below. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.